Should I turn my camera sideways? I'm vertical. Should I go horizontal? I want to let you know that Twitter just told me that SoundUp is live right now. Yes, we haven't been able to hear Sean at the beginning of the last two shows, so we apologize for that. What's that? No, they're not really because they can hear me still. So, I mean, obviously, why they're tuning in for the talent, but yeah. So, well, you gotta talk, Sean, for us to tell if they can hear you. There we go. Can we hear? So we're gonna have to edit this whole front part out.
But if I change it to this, you can hear me. That okay. Just testing, everybody. Welcome to the pre-show I joked about. Pre-show fun. I have to change it to the MacBook microphone in order for the AirPod.
There, I just heard you.
Yeah, but it's quieter, so I need to pull that up a little bit. And let's test this out. If you guys are in the comments,
We're just streaming. Just another wonderful day in the neighborhood. I can hear you. I am hearing you through the speaker on my end.
Make sure the volume's even.
I just heard you. All right, I think we're good. I think that sounds even.
I think we're good. Now we can start the show.
I think we're good. Hey, everybody, welcome to Sound Up, Sound Off, the only podcast worth listening to from SoundUpNow.com. No, that doesn't sound right. It's the only podcast that we, as the owners of SoundUpNow.com, do. So there's lots of other podcasts that you should listen to from our membership base. I don't know. Sean, stop writing the intros. That sounded weird. Okay, what you got?
Yeah, just a bit. I wanted to talk about how this whole phenomenon where everyone seems to have discovered Zoom and other little platforms and stuff. And I want to call out Apple because Apple, we know Tim. I know you watch this show, Mr. Tim Cook, CEO of Apple.
Maybe he listens to it since it's a podcast.
Yeah, you keep giving the iPads nicer and nicer cameras. Okay, just throwing this out there, what would you use more? A nice webcam on your computer or a camera on your iPad? I mean, I kind of look stupid being like, say cheese. Why would you do that? And then look at this. You're using an iPhone 11, which is the newest iPhone. I'm using a 2018 MacBook Pro, and the quality on your camera is 10 times better. And that's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous. That's my tech rant. That's where I'm starting with.
Well, I would actually agree with you. I think that the webcam on the laptops or computers do need to be better. Now, as far as iPad goes, though, are you saying the front-facing camera on the iPad that you have, you could not use for what we're doing right now?
No, because I don't have the program that we use to record this on there.
So what Tim would tell you is it's not Tim's fault. It's the third-party program that we're using to record.
I don't understand how they have a product that's a pro product without a nice webcam, which is something a lot of people do with these. In my mind, it makes sense to have a nice camera on here. If you're going to do it for all your other devices, why would you not do it for the device that probably gets used the most?
Listen, in my mind, actually, I still agreeing with you, but yeah, if you're going to have the camera technology, like if the camera is really good on the 11, why wouldn't you, from a cost efficiency standpoint, when building products, use the same camera technology in each of your devices? Like, because then you would be like a bulk discount.
Yeah, I don't even care to use the iPhone camera from 5 years ago. It's still probably better than whatever this is. I mean, my screen looks like it's covered in poop. It's that bad.
That's Interesting. Okay.
But
Hey, you know what we didn't do, since this is not a normal time that we're recording. If you're watching this live, you realize that if you were waiting for us since 11:30 this morning, we apologize for your wait. If you're listening to this, it really doesn't matter because you're listening to the podcast. But we can do a virtual cheers because it's not the morning, which means we both are. Put your cup up. I just saw it.
cheers.
Don't lie.
I was reading comments.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Drinking.
Um,
That's the advantage of recording a podcast at 9:30 at night.
Matthew says, my biggest complaint about the iPad Pro is the front-facing camera. I'm actually talking about the front camera on the MacBook Pro right now. To me, it's ridiculous that it's not better.
The Mac Air, like even the Air, the Pros, like all the webcams on the is really poor, grainy quality. For something like you said, we would be using Zoom, Whereby, GoToMeeting, especially now, Facebook Live, all these different things. So I know you were moving into that topic, but all these platforms that people are discovering that we've probably been using, those of us in the tech world and video world have been using for a long time, right? What's your favorite one right now? What's your favorite platform that everybody's like, oh, we're doing this now? And you're like, I've used that for a while, but I like it.
Well, the funniest ones are the watch. If you go to YouTube right now, you can type Zoom hack or Zoom bomb. Is it Zoom? Or they just call it Zoom boss. Of just people, families talking, and then somebody coming in just dancing in like underwear and just completely crashing their parties. It's hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Wait, I do have a story. So yes, you're right. That is funny. People put a password on your Zoom. That would make more sense. But did you see our little shout out to a member of ours, Rebecca Vocal Athlete, I think is her handle.
Mm-hmm.
Rebecca, did you see her post of her Zoom meeting?
No.
I gotta call it out. It was so good. It was so good. So she posted on Instagram and she was in a Zoom meeting and there was like whatever job or whatever company she was at, but there was like a boss guy like working. It was all these employees on the Zoom meeting. And one guy stood up and like, I mean, it was video, but like you could tell he wasn't paying attention. Like he was in the call, but he wasn't really paying attention to the call. So apparently wasn't wearing any pants and like totally commando and stood up like I would like this, like would stand up like this and then walked across the screen. It was awesome. It was awesome. It was hilarious.
Let's see.
Did you even pay attention to that story? Because that was really good.
Did. I was looking to see if it was on our Instagram, but I don't see it.
So it's one thing to bomb, hack inside of a Zoom, but this was like you're actually in the meeting and just kind of forgot that your video camera was going and just stood up a la nude and walked out of the room. Everybody's like, whoa. Yeah. I can't imagine having an agent meeting. Like, whoa, what? Everybody, please remember to wear pants when we have our company meeting. I think it'd be awesome.
That really is bad. I'm trying to keep up with the comments, by the way, in all the places. Probably should.
People, you are distracting Sean from having a conversation at the moment.
Well, the thing about having it go on Twitter and YouTube and Facebook group and all the places is it's kind of a lot of chats. Kind of a lot.
All right.
Just keeping that going. So anyway, one little bit of tech stuff I wanted to discuss really quick. People are burning 5G towers right now because they think that it carries corona. That's not true. Radio waves can't carry a virus. Just if you don't do that.
That seems kind of common sense, I would think. But these are trying times. I think you start having this is the whole thing since COVID has started. Is groupthink and panic really distorts a commonly smart person. There's a great quote on Men in Black. We're going to throw it back to Men in Black with Tommy Lee Jones. There's a great quote on there that said, a person is smart. People are stupid, big, dumb animals. And the point of that was that when you start having mob mentality and groupthink, stuff can get out of hand and panic can ensue and distort truth and reality and actually make you think and do stupid things versus most individuals are intelligent people, relatively smart, and have common sense. So stop burning 5G towers. That doesn't even make sense. Plus, we couldn't be able to do this.
Yeah. I mean, no one really has 5G anyway. I was trying to download the chat app, but apparently, we platform we're using to stream. We are using. So, Chris and I have a Skype call, which Ecamm brings the Skype call into here, and then we're using Restream.io to broadcast it everywhere. So it's not a matter of what platform; it's how many platforms do we use.
Three, and we're going live to like 5.
Yeah. So we're on Twitch. I don't even know if we have a follow. If you're leaving a comment on Twitch, well, we're never gonna read it.
Sorry, gamers.
Gonna be honest. Another couple. This is just a couple little things. Usually we have like certain kind of topics, but I just had a couple of things I was mentioning. Amazon right now is extending their return policies. Apparently, Chris is still getting Amazon Prime benefits. I am not. They are like, it's going to be there in a month. Chris gets it in 4 days.
I was going to say, I'm not getting Prime benefits. I'm actually kind of disappointed. I'm disappointed in Amazon for not furloughing, to use a very common term right now, furloughing the cost of Amazon Prime when you pay for it, or at least cutting in 50% or something, because obviously we still get the videos. But like, if we're not getting 2-day shipping, which is what most people signed up for Prime for, or as a major benefit of Prime, then I don't think we should be paying for it while this is going on if you're not going to be able to do it. That being said, yes, I don't understand why they don't like you. I do understand why they do like me, but I am getting stuff in like 4 days, 4 to 5 days, most packages, and that is like non-essential. Like I ordered, what did I order? I ordered a spare tire rim that came in 4 days. I ordered what was the one thing that was kind of weird? Oh, I don't need to talk about it, but it was good. Yeah, 4 days, 4 or 5
days.
If
anybody's wondering, there's like this little gnat. It's very. Here's the thing about where we live in South Carolina. We have these little. They're called gnats. That's what I call them. There's these little bugs, and when it gets humid outside, they just appear. And This was a front porch to a house that got enclosed into a little room that I made an office. And if you leave the light on and then you go in and out of the door, they follow you because they're all flying around the light. And it keeps flying like right. And you know what? If I was a little bitty bug, I wouldn't get right in someone's face as they just swatted at me. I would be scared and run away. But this guy's brave, and I don't know where he is right now. But then I keep doing this random, like trying to Miyagi him out of the air, and I look like an idiot. So, but that's kind of every day. So,
much like this segment that was unscripted. I don't remember this in the show notes.
I don't think we had show notes for this episode. The other thing I'm just going to throw out there is a lot of online companies are. There he is again. Look at that. Can you see?
I can actually see him. I can see him in the.
I just like
screen.
laughing. A lot of online companies. There was a plugin that I was looking at the other day. It's like, oh, COVID relief, 40% off. We usually run this deal. And so this is like a Black Friday special type thing that this company is talking about. And then I know there's a lot of other places are doing it. These online stores are doing Black Friday sales this month. It's good for some people, I guess. But why do you think that's like taking advantage? Or I don't know. It's weird. I don't know how you. I know Facebook right now, if you try to boost a post selling something, they'll say you can't leverage a crisis. But are they doing it because they're hurting, do you think? Or do you think, I wonder what their reasoning behind it is.
So I think this is actually a great topic. I'm glad you brought it up, because I have varying opinions.
I had one out of like all those.
Yeah. The marketer, the business side of me, like says that, yeah, you want to take some advantage, not of people, but of opportunity. And the moral code side of me says that how that manifests can vary. So I'll give two good examples, or I'll give one good example and then one idea of like how I would translate something for what's going on right now. One good example is there's a guy named Dave Ramsey. I was on another podcast yesterday, we're talking about this, and Dave Ramsey is a big name guy in budgeting and financial know-how, and he has a company called Financial Peace University. For decades, he's done classes, helps people get their life budgeted and in order and out of debt and get debt free and build wealth and that kind of stuff.
I should talk to this guy.
Yeah, and I was going to send you a link, John. Anyway, but right now he is allowing like his whole program that usually costs a lot of churches run these programs. It's usually like $250 per program, that kind of stuff. You can go to his site right now. He's never done this in the history of the company, and just watch all the videos, all the video training that like would come with the program for free, like just for free. Now, if you want the like notebooks, because I've been through Financial Peace University myself years ago, but like there's like material obviously that goes with it, but right now you can just go in and like just watch the courses for free, kind of package thing, and he's kind of like coupling that. I say that because I think there is some businesses that need to understand the value and brand building power that you, by giving free stuff away. Taco Bell actually twice in the last 2 weeks has given away free tacos on certain days.
I heard about this.
I don't understand. Yeah, yesterday was the Dorito Locos Day, and then the week before they did a free taco day as well. So like, I think more businesses need to take advantage of building brand through free giveaways of products and services. But then I actually don't have a problem with massive discounting for certain things that you just can't give away for free. Like, but if you can discount, I still think it's showing a little bit of your heart to the fact that like, maybe this is a necessity, maybe it's not, but hey, we're trying to cut a break and deal. And I think it's really what the product and services and how you kind of package it and say it. You got to be very careful with your words and like what you're promoting. And I think sometimes it needs to be free, and sometimes a massive discount shows just as much heart as anything else. That's my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah. I don't think there's a right answer for it, because if your business is hurting and you're like, you know what, I'm going to offer a discount to see if I can keep feeding my family. If that's your argument, I can stand behind it. But if you're like, oh, we should take advantage of all these people that are home right now and see how much money we can make off of this, then, but it's kind of, it's a gray area where you can't really tell. At the same time, I've enjoyed some of these discounts, so I do appreciate it a little bit. So I don't know, because like I said, Facebook's not letting you run an ad for one of the there's a company that we talked about here before, is a pharmacy here, and I help them with some marketing things, and they are making their own hand sanitizer, and they put a post out, and when they went to boost the post, Facebook told them no, because they were taking advantage of a crisis.
Which is weird, because there's lots of other products on Facebook that I'm scrolling through my feed, even more so, of discounted products that maybe don't speak to the pandemic at hand, but they're doing ads and discounts based on what's going on.
Yeah, at the same time, PayPal told them they could not sell CBD oil, but then you can go to a competitor and see pay with PayPal, and it's like, what?
That's odd.
It is a strange thing. Sometimes I think things just sneak through, but here's the thing: is they're getting phone calls left and right, and it's taking up their time to answer the phone, so they can put it on Facebook. Then really, it's helping them. I mean, as a pharmacy, you're an essential business. They're not doing it to take advantage. They were back there making the stuff by hand. They didn't just order some and then upsell it and stuff. And so they're trying to get the word out to let people know. One of the other things they did was they expanded their free delivery. Facebook denied those as well, because they said they were taking advantage of a crisis. But they were telling people we're doing free delivery outside of the area. So at the same time, I saw CVS run an ad for the same thing. And so it's like, and we know things slip through. How many times have you had an ad running for 2 months, and then all of a sudden they're like, this is not approved? And you're like, really? Because it's been on for 2 months now, Facebook.
Yeah.
It sometimes makes you think somebody's in there just like, oh crap, I didn't mean to just manually approve it later. I don't know how that works, but there's been some programs I've bought that the other day, I don't remember which one it was. There was some kind of MailChimp thing or something, I don't know. And they were running a sale. So I don't know. I've appreciated some of the sales and stuff, but we've not done anything. So
Well, we haven't, well, actually, I take that back. We did. I just don't think we promoted it. Remember, we were going to do a discount. It wasn't last week's show. I think it was the week prior. We were talking about putting a code out there for local. Remember, local business was the code.
yeah, and I think, but what we were doing was we were trying to help local. And here, this is the justification why I agreed with that. And you can hear, I guess, from a SaaS company. Oh yeah, we are a SaaS company. I should say it. My stance on that was, here, if we give people a discount, because it does cost us server space, so it's like we can't afford to pay for the server space, that we give them a discount, and then maybe this is an avenue of something they could try to keep people interested in their business while they're closed, and possibly letting people know, restaurants we were talking about, could let people know their specials and stuff like that, because the way things are flooded on Facebook and stuff. So that was our reasoning. But I've seen some that are literally like calling it like the COVID special, and that kind of bothers me a little bit when there's no rhyme and reason to it, I guess.
Right. I would agree with that. We did a special, and I think here's where we can get away with a special, Sean, is we have a free membership tier. Like if you're a business that is set up to let people try and use your product and service and that kind of stuff like already, or you're doing something to counterbalance the perception of discount. Here's the thing, like we know our hearts, and sometimes you talk with other people and like you get the impression like, oh, they're just trying to make a buck instead of trying to like actually help, customers and clients and that kind of stuff. So I think it becomes a little situational based on what's your point, what's your what are you actually trying to do. And there is remote work checklist in the age of, I mean, I've scrolled through Facebook. I see a lot of like, there's a ton of working from home, and I've seen outfit specials for the new home work look, from yoga pants and different like loose clothing, shorts, and all this kind of stuff. So I mean, people are definitely taking advantage and like doing things. It's just like, but what's the point? Like, and are you here to help through this? And is your discount like showing that you care? Or maybe your discount is only part of what you're doing. Maybe you're not only are you running a discount, but you have content out there and talks about like, the fact that your company is donating to the food bank, or you're helping, deliver meals to people. Like there's a lot of things.
Or if your grocery store saying, here's more coupons to buy food.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So some of them have run me the wrong way. Not all of them, but some of the ones that are just like, we're moving our Black Friday special to this weekend. We're just kind of weird to me. But
true.
A lot of members here, you guys all have businesses. Are any of you doing any sort of special for this time? Why are you doing it? And I think there's so many reasons. I think it's a little, I don't know. I guess I'm not against it or for it. Like I said when I started, it's kind of just like gray area where it's kind of I think Facebook made me feel bad about it. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's where I started this whole thing. I'm like, well, we're trying to exploit a crisis. I was trying to help people in a crisis, and then maybe I started looking at, because I didn't even have that thought until they said that to me. And so, Zuckerberg, stop, dude. Be a little
Thanks, Zucks. Make us feel.
Speaking of industries.
Time. Seal stumper. Do.
Oh, mine didn't.
If you would have broke that, that'd been oh crap.
There you go.
That was awesome.
Oh man. So I have this green screen thing I threw back here on the couch, and I just realized I was trying to make my shirt look like twinkling Christmas lights, because that's what I'm wearing. And I just realized the green screen on the couch behind me, I used a moving tunnel video in the background. I'm sorry. It's been moving the entire time. And you're
making someone throw up or someone leave the stream because of it.
Yeah, but it looks like my shirt has twinkling lights on it, so it's going to be okay. My shoulder, in my view, is covering it up the whole time. So, industry.
All right. Industry shady. It need to be taken over. All right. That was a Jay-Z quote, by the way. So, speaking of Jay-Z, it's the greatest segue ever.
That was a good segue.
We're
talking about
musicians. Oh. No, not rapper. Well, you could be a rapper. You could be any kind of musician. So what we've noticed or what I've noticed at least. In fact, me and Sean were a part of an open mic the other night on Zoom, and we actually did one on SoundUp a couple weeks ago as well. And you probably are seeing a ton of IG Live and Facebook Live streams of people just jumping on guitar, music, and just doing kind of like a live stream concert. You all the way from the professional level of musicians down to just the rest of us that are grabbing a guitar, ukulele, or whatever's around the house, and just playing and jumping on live and trying to connect with other people. So for us, and we've kind of talked about this before, but we really, it's not a large segment of our membership, but it could be, because I think that when you're building your brand, if you are a musician and you want to get heard, especially writing original stuff and all that and that kind of thing, or you're trying to find gigs or trying to book and grow a career in music, a platform like ours could really help. Or any platform that's going to help you promote and get your brand and music out there through vehicles like podcasting, being heard on Alexa, getting heard on more platforms, being able to host and upload your music, and be discovered. So, Sean, what do you know some of the stuff we've put in place for musicians? And in fact, I know we have a couple clients like that, a couple members. But what would you say to musicians that, as somebody that had to book and travel around and do shows when we were younger, what do we have now that could have helped you then?
I don't know what you mean by carry the book. You mean the equipment? Carry
the book.
You said, I thought you said carry the book. I'm like, carry the book.
No, you booked around the air. You booked around the nation, okay. Like toured and stuff.
I heard that wrong. I was like, carry the book.
Maybe I said it wrong. I don't know. I'll go back and
watch that. I don't know why my brain's stuck on that. I'm like, carry the book. What kind of gigs was he doing? So yeah, I think, man, there's so much you can do. One of our friends that we used to play with, Kelsey, has done so many live streams to the point where it would almost be kind of cool. Like, if you're in a community that has a lot of people that actually do original music, what if you did covers of each other's songs, and then each of you kind of had a skill, or you played something, something fun to do for like original artists and stuff. I think would be kind of interesting. Like every time I play a song that Chris wrote, he gets mad at me that I don't do the chingy chang the right way, and it's hilarious. But if you didn't know the song, you would never know. You just think it was my rendition, which it is, because I'm an artiste. So there's so many words I can see
screw up
theme. So I think I've seen a couple of people try to do collaborations. I think there's too much of a delay to do a really good collaboration live streaming. The ones I've seen have actually been okay, but I don't quite know how they're doing it, because I feel like if you and I were to play a song, it would be offbeat.
I feel like, yeah, because I watched, it was definitely like edited, but they made it seem like it was like a Zoom thing. This was like a professional level that was like on TV, but they like edited it together, and the sound was way too good. You can tell that the sound was remastered at some on some level, because it looked like they were just like doing this, and yet it sounded like studio perfect. So but I think you're right. I think it would be kind of cool to instead of like you screwing up songs that I wrote, but like actually kind of trading off and having a community where you're like sharing originals. We developed a skill for this called open mic skill, and that's kind of what is becoming popular right now with everybody quarantined, is like these open mics and these just jump on in different live and like Zooms and wherebys and that kind of stuff. But if you're like just streaming on Facebook, and if you're going to put that content out there anyway, why not record it into like a flash briefing, or your own custom skill, especially if you are a musician that you're like trying to, and you have a band or a name or a brand, like build a skill and just put out a song a week through that, like an original song. Or, I think giving away your audio for free, because you're already doing it in video form, adding to another platform that people could maybe discover you on, and then you can actually add to like booking you, contacting you for like when your new album drops. Eventually we're going to add in, being able to purchase directly from there. So you might be able to get purchase links and actually download music. And I think you should have kind of like, I like the podcasting side, because you mentioned Kelsey. Like, I think you can start a podcast that's just not about your music, but will get you recognition in your brand if you have your own podcast. And yeah, I mean, it's you or your band doing it, and you're talking to guests, and it doesn't even have to do with music, or it can do with music, but you're getting exposure through that way that you can then redirect them back into some of your other vehicles that you're sharing your music and sharing what you do on it.
So
You
you
look
had
puzzled.
a thought came in my head. It would be a very interesting thing if you were a musician and then you just started a podcast and you interviewed other musicians, and say you're like an acoustic singer-songwriter, like definitely interview rappers, country singers, don't just stick in your own thing. But then, try to get some like music executives or something, or YouTube personalities, it could end up getting you a record deal, who knows? But that would be an
Yeah.
interesting way to do it, is don't just, oh, hey, I'm a musician, find other musicians in your genre and ones close to it that you think maybe your fans would like.
Dude,
There,
wait, you let me just add on your idea. Like, when you just talk about like interviewing execs or YouTube influencers or something like that, like I can already think of different songs and artists that I discovered because I heard their music as a background track on like a vlog. And like I heard like them, and like if you can connect with people, you might be able to get, whether you're rap, like I said, whatever genre you're rapping, country, rock, whatever, you might be able to get like some of your original music, and they might use it in their content, which gets you heard. Oh, sorry, did I go
you
crooked?
threw that way off. Oh, a
Crooked.
little more.
Oh, uh,
That right there. Don't move.
I can't tell. That thing behind me is throwing me off. But
Well, its line is like on the side of the screen, and you had it like hanging off the screen. It's like my OCD just like kicked in and was like punch the camera.
it's
That's what it told
it's
me.
all right, gravity. But you might get your music heard through that person that you interviewed on your podcast using your stuff on their content. Like like that can all happen pretty awesomely.
See,
Sorry.
this is why if you ever just think, reach out to us, because I guarantee you we'll pull out an idea somehow. When no matter, that's what the segment was for. Was okay. Let's think of an industry, and then we don't pre-discuss this. This is
No,
how our
it's
brains work.
off the
Um,
cuff.
Chris doesn't like when I call it diarrhea of the brain, but
It's disgusting. It's a
yeah.
disgusting
So,
term.
but
Gotcha.
anyway, I think there's a few things that you could do like that. I I remember on MySpace back in the day when I was playing, I would find other musicians in different towns that weren't super popular, but they weren't, they were doing the same thing I was doing in my town. And I would reach out and say, hey, I'm playing in, where was I playing? I think, what is St. Louis nearby? What is it near? I don't know.
I'm from Chicago. I don't like St. Louis
Yeah,
a lot.
there was somewhere I was playing on right before on the other side. And I was like, oh, it's only 2 hours from there. So I looked around and I found another musician artist who looked like he'd done some same size gigs as me. And I reached out and I said, hey, would you be interested if you ever come to Myrtle Beach? If you want to do a gig with me, I'm going to be up your way. Don't know if you have any gigs I could open for you. And then I met musicians that way around the country. And that's how I booked a lot of gigs. And that's how I got into the college circuit. Was I found a musician that played at a college, and he introduced, and like it just kind of goes.
Mm-hmm.
Networking as a musician is the same thing as being a business person. You are a business person, and it's not all just, here's my CD, will you book me please? Like, if you can put more into it than that, you'll have success. Chris and I, summer one, I was like, I'm gonna book the summer full, and then I did. I booked us. We would play a gig and immediately leave to go play another one. We were playing way too much probably, but we did it.
Yeah, and I
Because
like that, and I like that mentality of collaboration. And you all you got to do is transfer it into content, and you have platforms for both video, audio, and being able to really expand your network that's going to grow your brand and your business. And you can do it through the content that you're creating and being on platforms, and it's about exposure, like more than what me and you had, what, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, more than
and
10 years ago, sorry.
it's not as the one place where it's different, and I think better than business. In business, if I were to go over to somebody that worked at, I don't know, Anchor, and was like, hey man, we should talk about each other's product, we're competitors, that wouldn't be the same. Whereas musicians, you're all sort of in this, there's no real competition with musicians, right? That's literally how you and I met. I had an open mic. I could not continue hosting it, but I wanted it to continue on because I felt like there was something there. And after meeting you and Roger, who you were with, I said, hey, you guys want to host this while I go out and do some shows? You guys did. The open mic kept going, and it got bigger like I thought it would, because had I just stopped it, that would have never happened. We wouldn't have had Kelsey, wouldn't have had the whole thing had I dropped it. But I met you, and it wasn't a competition. It was, okay, he's a musician. He seems somewhat organized, and you guys did it. And then,
super organized.
it was good until some musician heard somebody sing bad in Charleston, and then they had to have a music license, and that whole thing was bad. But
oh, that's right. I forgot where we were. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I was
yeah.
like, what are you talking about? And then
So
I remember the location.
yeah. So
yeah, that works.
Don't anyway.
Don't limit.
I'm gonna rabbit hole too much into musicians, but don't always. I did so many free shows back in the day, but when I did my first free show at the House of Blues, having played at the House of Blues on my resume did a lot for me. So it's just like business. If you can intern for free for somebody,
So, and let me just end it with this. The fact is, like, everything you just said that's true, and like free, and like how you're networking. But the fact that now you have the ability to have a broader reach as a musician through platforms and content platforms, like we're talking about, like a SoundUp can get you heard on multiple platforms. You can get seen through video, of what we're seeing a lot in the quarantine, on multiple platforms. Like, your reach is further than ever before. So take advantage of it. Like, don't just limit yourself in some of the traditional methods. Exponentially capitalize on the fact that you can get your music, unlike any other era. You can get, with just a little bit of work, maybe a little bit of money, sometimes free, heard by more people than ever before.
And you know what? Right. Maybe that's what we should do. Maybe next week, if it's not this show, maybe we bring on a musician and interview them, ask them how they use the internet to market. It'd be, instead of talking about industries, I'd be curious to know about some people. If we can line that up, everyone's sitting at home, so why not? If you're a musician, reach out. Let us know. Maybe we should do a Zoom without a password and see what happens.
See if musicians drop in. I bet Kelsey would do. I bet we could do a SoundUp open mic Zoom. I bet Kelsey would jump in on it with us if we asked him. That gnat's back. On that note, Sean's going to go kill a gnat, and we are going to sign off. Hey, everybody. Hope you guys have a good night. Thank you for watching the show. I'm empty. I know. I need to go. I got to go. And get another glass.